Hey, welcome to Way Too Indie's Music Hangouts. My name is Manny, also known as Manny. Welcome back. I know it's been a long time since we've done one of these, since I've done one of these, and I'm kind of sad that I haven't been able to. But today we're talking with Toronto-based Alex Wright, who is of the Wax Girl. Hey, Alex, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Manny?
Doing good. It's a nice summer day, and there's no more classes, so I'm excited. And there's nothing much for me to do. If you guys are watching, you can always ask questions. I believe the Q&A app should be enabled to, if you have a question, let us know. Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Alex Wright. I'm a Toronto-based producer. Right now I have a project called The Wax Girl that I'm releasing an EP actually today. It's sort of in the post-rock ambient music style. So yeah, I've just been working on that for like the past year or so. This EP I began working on almost a year ago, like September last year. So I'm just really excited to finally be getting this out there, and yeah, I really look forward to sharing it with everyone. It comes out tonight at 8 p.m. Good time. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And before we go on, I want to thank Sarah, because Sarah on Twitter, I'll put a link to her Twitter profile as well, but she introduced me to your music. And I know she's also a good friend of yours, correct?
Yeah, she's actually my girlfriend. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't know that one, but yeah. She introduced me to your music, and that was so I just wanted to say thank you to her. And actually, yeah, you mentioned the EP comes out today. I've gotten to take a listen to it, the entire thing. I've listened to it more than once, probably a lot more than once, because it's really good, and I enjoy it very much so. But let's talk about, how did you get started in music? What was your inspiration to get started producing? Was it something you did growing up, or was it something you found later on?
Uh, yeah, I guess. I mean, I've always, like, since like as far back as I can remember, like I've always been really into music. And I guess it was maybe when I was like, I don't know, 12 or so, when I like first picked up a guitar and realized that this is what I want to do, right? It was yeah, I just from that point forward, it was just like music kind of took over my life. Before that, I was really into like illustration and that kind of thing. But once 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 I started getting involved with music, playing guitar, uh, playing drums, bass, music really just took over. And from that point on, I mean, I've just been involved with many, many bands. Um, and yeah, it's just been a really big part of my life. So
Awesome. And I see some art back there. Is that something you painted behind
that's
you?
that's Sarah's art. She,
Oh.
I mean, we both do a lot of painting still, but I think yeah, the stuff back here that you're seeing is her work.
So did you find that while you were doing painting or art and illustrating, is that something that translates into your music that you found inspires you?
Um, I guess in some ways, like I think I've always just sort of felt the need to like be creative, um, and I guess earlier on in life it was through drawing and illustrations and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's just you know part of who I am. I think I'm just always just being creative. Like I just need to be creative, and if I'm not, I really feel it. Like there's been stretches in my life where I've kind of gone without creating anything, whether it's illustrations or music, and I really feel it. Like it's just it's just something that I need to do, and I don't know. It's something that I'm willing to sacrifice, anything just to be able to create music. So yeah, I mean it's got its upsides and its downsides. So yeah,
Well, I think it's definitely an upside that you were doing music and actually being this creative. So, thankfully, because we have something like this EP that comes out from your music and from your interests. Let's talk about your project. And before we get into the EP, The Wax Girl. Can you tell me a little bit about how that started and how the name of it actually? It's quite interesting. The story behind that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it really just started out just with like I don't know demos that I was sort of just making on my own. Um, I was writing like sort of like shoegazy, ambient post rock type just demos, just for my own sort of like personal enjoyment or like creative outlet kind of thing. And I guess the more music I was creating, like um, I started realizing that it was something that I wanted to pursue. And I just kind of came up with the name the Wax Girl, just as sort of like just a name for like these songs that I was writing. It was just sort of a way of like categorizing these songs like on my computer. I just named the folder the Wax Girl. So yeah, that's sort of how it got started, and then the name itself. It comes from like my name actually. It's just my name. It's an anagram for my name. So like it's just the letters mixed up to form the Wax Girl, and I don't know. It's just it kind of stuck. I didn't really feel the need to change it. It's just that music kind of became the Wax Girl. So.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's anagrams are always cool because I try to figure them out, but I didn't figure this one out, and now I'm sitting here thinking about everything. I'll do that later. I'll probably figure it out and see where everything is. Okay, so let's talk about your EP. That you said you've been working on it for a year. Can you tell us a little bit about the process and how the thought process that went into creating these tracks and creating the album together, or the EP together? Sorry.
Well, I started recording like it was like September of last year. I actually I wrote a ton of music for this EP. Like there's these 5 songs are just 5 of many songs, and that's just kind of how I've always been with writing. Is like every day I try to write something new, whether it's good or bad. I don't know. I find it difficult to actually write music that I'm really proud of. So, yeah, this collection of songs is 5 sort of that I feel represent my best out of my entire body of work. So yeah, in terms of the creative process. Songs were just coming out. I was really obsessed with subconscious and the universe and dreams and that kind of thing, and that's where all these ideas sort of came from. And yeah, I just recorded all these songs, and then I guess it was around last March. That's when I sort of realized which songs I sort of wanted to include on this EP, and that's how it sort of all came about.
So the title of the EP relates to upon research it relates to a medical term which means that you've lost a sense of smell. Is that something that you meant to do, or is that something just that I just randomly pulled up and it wasn't?
No, that's completely intentional. I lost my sense of smell when I was 17, and sometimes I just wonder how that's affected me or my life, and because I know that the sense of smell is largely connected to things like memory and that kind of thing. So I decided to go with that name just because it's something personal to me, and I just wonder how that's affected my songwriting and composition. So that's how that relates.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm glad that wasn't just random coincidence. So actually, you mentioned like it was something that was pulling together from your thoughts about consciousness in the world, and you also mentioned that it was because of your loss of smell that you were looking at the. I mean, I would assume that you would be looking at the world kind of differently, or uh, thinking of the world differently, um,
Right.
in that sense. So was that something that went along with your creative process?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Like, yeah, I think it definitely has an impact on my creative process, and you know, my sense of smell is something that, yeah, I wish I could have it back, but I sort of realize that it's never coming back, and it's kind of sad, but I've I've learned to live without it, and yeah, it's just something that I wanted to include as part of this EP.
So let's going into the EP comes out for those of you that are watching. The EP comes out today at 8 p.m. I'm not going to mess with time zones because time zones confuse the world out of me. But I put a link down into. I think we should be showing someone in the video like a showcase. But there's also a link in the description that you guys can check out to purchase the EP. And now you're also releasing the EP on limited CD of 50 CDs, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Awesome. And was that something that you intended to do originally on as it? You know, there's this discussion going on about digital content versus actually having physical things, and there's people going towards vinyls again, going towards these older forms that are becoming more popular. But what was it? That decision to make 50 limited on CDs. What was that process for you?
That's something that I got that idea sort of early on. I kind of just wanted to make this like as exclusive as possible, just to kind of give it like some rarity, I guess. Um, but yeah, early on, like from the beginning, I had this idea to make it as limited as possible, and I sort of wish that I could release it on vinyl as well. That's something that I think probably for my like upcoming like full length album, I'll probably do that. Um, but yeah, really, it's just I really wanted to have like a hard copy of it and something that's really limited and numbered. I just think it makes it a little bit more special. So yeah, that's why I chose to do that.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So we're going to go into talking a little bit more about your full length that you're working on now. But for you guys that are watching, check out the EP. I've listed it below. I've listened to it. It sounds amazing, and I think you guys very enjoy it very much. Um, it actually, the thing about, at least for me, the thing about ambient music and instrumental and all this stuff that doesn't have lyrics is that you kind of have to form your own story to it. And the way that Alex has written this and composed this together, you flow through each track very easily. Compared to certain things like other EPs are just mismatches of songs, but this one, each track, at least I felt, you go from one story to the next and you easily flow through all of them. So I definitely appreciate that, and I think that's an amazing part of this EP. So if you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description below. Go ahead and go buy it, check it out. And if you have any questions before we keep moving on, just to mention this, if you have any questions, the Q&A app, if you're watching on YouTube, there should be like a little link at the bottom that says, hey, join or something, to where you can ask questions. So send us some questions if you want something that Alex, if you have a question for Alex. You mentioned your full-length album that's coming out next year, and can you tell us a little bit about how that's going?
It's going really well. Like I started recording that. I guess it was in April of this year. I've written a ton of music for that already. So eventually, at some point, it's going to become the same process as this EP, where I'm going to have to, sort of go through like a process of elimination. But so far, yeah, it's going really well, and yeah, I'm really enjoying recording that. I've had to kind of take a break from that, just to kind of make sure that this release goes well. It's this release for Anosmic has really taken up a lot of my time, so it's just been I've got a little sidetracked with recording this full length, but I think once this EP is released, I'll be able to get back to it and put my focus entirely into that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to releasing that as well too.
And can you tell us a little bit about what the feel of that is and where you're getting the inspiration for that album, or is it continuing with this EP?
I would definitely say it's different from Anosmic. I mean, it's still sort of the same genre, like it's post rock, ambient music, but it's definitely like a step in a different direction. There's some really like upbeat stuff in there, like really sort of like driving drums, that kind of thing. But in terms of like themes, I guess it's I don't know. I'm sort of still stuck on the subconscious and dreams and that kind of thing. But we'll see where this one goes. I mean, like I said, there's just so much material for this upcoming album that I really need to sort of like eliminate some stuff from it. So.
And so where do you hope to see your music going within, let's say, just for the short term this year, after this EP releases, where do you see yourself? I know you'll be working on your full length, but anything else going on?
Something that I've really like always wanted to do with my music is like see it in film or like TV, and so I don't know, like I'm sort of like targeting that right now, I think, but I guess we'll see where it goes. Really, I'm open to anything, so I guess we'll just have to see, but. Yeah, I think something else that I wanted to mention as well is that there is going to be a video that's currently being worked on, like right now, for one of the tracks off the EP. So that's something that you can look forward to for this EP. There will be possibly even more videos too, but for the time being, there's one video for now. So, and that's for Unknown Location. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this EP. It's really exciting for me.
Awesome. Well, I didn't know about the video that was coming out, so I'm looking forward to that even more now, because it's imagining that the visual concept with your own thoughts and everything. So it's interesting. But I'll look forward to that. Before we start off or finish off here, I just want to remind everyone that the links for the album will be down below. Comes out tonight, so you'll be able to watch this and then go get it and listen to it. Listen to it entirely in one setting. Don't do the whole thing where you listen to one track at a time, unless you want to. I'm not saying that you have to listen to it all entirely at once, but I think it sounds amazing all entirely at once, because it is a complete story. I think that works very well together. And then look forward to the video. I'll have Alex's, the Wax Girls, social links and all that stuff down below in the video. Before we finish off, let's always end with one interesting thing about yourself that most people wouldn't know.
One interesting thing that not too many people know. I don't know. I really love hiking. It's not something that I get to do too much of, but when I do, it's incredible. And I don't know if, probably not too many people know that about me, but, every once in a while, if I, go on a vacation or something, go somewhere far away, I like to just be out in the wilderness and just go for like really long hikes. And that's just, I don't know, I get so much out of that. To me, that's really inspiring. And actually last year, I went to Newfoundland with my girlfriend. We hiked up Grossmore Mountain, and that was just, it was really intense, and it was just like really really challenging. And I think what I get out of that is it's just when you accomplish, climbing a mountain, for example, it just you feel like unstoppable, really, and it's just really really inspiring. You feel like you could do anything. So I guess, yeah, that's the one thing that probably not too many people know about me.
Awesome. I mean, that's definitely interesting how that inspires you, because I think that being in nature in general is inspiring, and I don't think a lot of people do that often enough. We're all cooped up inside. Of course, we're sitting inside right now and not being outside. But if we could do interviews outside without the annoying noises, and I'd love to do that. But yeah, we're inside. But that's definitely interesting. Alex, thank you for joining us for Way Too Indie's Music Hangout. We'll have a post up later this week with my review of the album, or the EP, sorry. This whole EP album thing never makes sense to me. I don't think anyone really cares about it, but just for certainty, it's an EP, not an album. And then we'll have, which my review, I've already said this, it sounds amazing, and I love it because it tells you where it goes out. And then also we'll have some social links and all that stuff up next for you. If you have an artist that you think I should listen to and check out or interview, send me an email. I think my email is on the Way Too Indie page, so waytoindie.com, and then /staff. Go check it out and send me an email, drop me a line, or tweet me. Alex, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we finish off here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just really excited about this this release today. It's been a long time coming, and I'm trying to not get too excited about it, but it's hard not to. Nobody really has heard this music, so yeah. Let's see what happens.
Well, I definitely think it's something to get excited about, because it's an amazing album.
Thanks.
Saying it again, but I think it's amazing. Like I said, it's something to really get excited about. So if you guys want to check it out, link will be in the description, all that stuff, and also on Twitter, all that fun jazz with the internet of the world. Thank you, Alex, for joining me and taking the time out to chat with us, and thank you for you guys for watching. And I will see you next time. Hopefully this won't be like another 2 months away. We'll have some more coming up next week or some other time. And Alex, I wish you the best of luck with your music, and I hope we'll chat again when your album comes out, because I'm looking forward to hearing that goes off. So
yeah,
thank you again.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'll really be looking forward to that.
So I'll see you guys later. Have a good day or a good evening. Time zones are confusing. I've already said that before. I'm just going to say it again because I think it's something that needs to be said. Alex, again, thank you for joining us, and we will chat with you guys next time.
Thanks, Manny.
Hey, welcome to Way Too Indie's Music Hangouts. My name is Manny, also known as Manny. Welcome back. I know it's been a long time since we've done one of these, since I've done one of these, and I'm kind of sad that I haven't been able to. But today we're talking with Toronto-based Alex Wright, who is of the Wax Girl. Hey, Alex, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Manny?
Doing good. It's a nice summer day, and there's no more classes, so I'm excited, and there's nothing much for me to do. If you guys are watching, you can always ask questions. I believe the Q&A app should be enabled, to if you have a question, let us know. Alex, why don't you tell us, because it's really good, and I enjoy it very much so. But let's talk about, how did you get started in music? What was your inspiration to get started producing? Was it something you did growing up, or was it something you found later on?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've always, since as far back as I can remember, I've always been, really into music. And I guess it was maybe when I was I don't know, 12 or so, when I first picked up a guitar and realized that this is what I want to do. Right? It was.
It's a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name's Alex Wright. I'm a Toronto-based producer. Right now I have a project called The Wax Girl that I'm releasing an EP actually today. It's sort of in the post-rock ambient music style. So yeah, I've just been working on that for like the past year or so. This EP I began working on almost a year ago, like September last year. So I'm just really excited to finally be getting this out there. Yeah, I just from that point forward, it was just like music kind of took over my life. Before that, I was really into like illustration and that kind of thing. But once I started getting involved with music, playing guitar, uh, playing drums, bass, music really just took over. And from that point on, I mean, I've just been involved with many bands. Um, and yeah, it's just been a really big part of my life. So
Awesome. And I see some art back there. Is that something you painted behind
that's
you?
actually better, and yeah, I really look forward to sharing it with everyone. It comes out tonight at 8 p.m.
Awesome.
Good time. So
Awesome.
yeah,
And before we go on, I want to thank Sarah, because Sarah on Twitter, I'll put a link to her Twitter profile as well, but she introduced me to your music. And I know she's also a good friend of yours, correct?
yeah, she's actually my girlfriend. So
Oh,
yeah.
didn't know that one, but yeah. She introduced me to your music, and that was so I just wanted to say thank you to her. And actually, yeah, you mentioned the EP comes out today. I've gotten to take a listen to it, the entire thing. I've listened to it more than once, probably a lot more than once.